Hey guys, so this is going to be a quick instructional video on how to open up a Nintendo game cartridge without one of those nasty security screwdrivers. What you are going to need is a cigarette lighter, some thick piece of plastic, I'm using this empty pen casing, and your game of choice. First, you're going to need to flip over your game to expose the security screw. What we will be doing is melting the tip of this pen casing so we can mold it to the screw. Light the tip with your lighter until the tip begins to melt. If it lights like it did for me, don't panic. Just blow it out and proceed to press it down into the screw. Use as much force as you feel necessary. What this is doing is allowing the plastic to take the form of the screw, so you don't want to be too forgiving. You're now going to want to let it cool. Okay, now that you have let the plastic harden, you can now proceed to unscrew it like you would with a regular screwdriver. In my experience, I've learned that this may take a few attempts to get perfect. This method tends to be a little temperamental, but will get the trick done, as you will see. Now that you have removed the screw from the cartridge, you can now open up the game. It is important not to just try to pull the game apart. This step should take little to no force. The top of these casings just slide down with a small click like so, and you'll be able to expose the chip inside. You are now free to clean off the connectors, change the battery if your game has one, or just take a look at what makes these things tick. Now, this next step is completely optional, but if you're like me and end up opening up these old games more than just once, you're going to want to do it. Normally, at this point, you would just put the original screw back in place, but we're just going to get rid of that altogether and grab ourselves a nice, normal Phillips head screw that is roughly the same size. All you're going to want to do is put the screw in place and screw it in. This may take a small amount of force if the new screw has a slightly different thread than the original one you took out. But don't worry, as long as they are roughly the same size, you should be just fine. And now you have a game that will be a lot easier to take apart next time. Now I'd just like to take a moment and thank you for watching my instructional how-to video. I hope you found it to be helpful and informative. Best of luck.